What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest in business happenings for esports gaming creator news. I'm your host, Mark Kai. We're here for the last week of March 2023, and let's dive right into it. Our first top 3 story, we have esports and gaming earnings reports coming out, so I just want to talk about them. There are quite a few earnings reports here, so I just want to cover them at a high level so you can hear about them all at a very basic level. So Enthusiast Gaming reported a net loss of $56.6 million for the fiscal year of 2022, with revenue increasing 21% from 2021 up to $149.5 million, and gross profit also increasing 58% to $63.5 million. Overall, the net loss still increased from $38.3 million in 2021 to that of $56.6 million for 2022. Tencent's revenue increased 0.5% year on year of Q4 of 2022, with profit increasing actually 19% to $4.4 billion and net margins increasing from 18% to 21%. Despite all the regulation issues with games in China, Tencent seems to have made good progress in other areas like their AI capabilities as well as cloud infrastructure. 10 Square Games reported a revenue of $115 million for 2022 compared to $146.3 million in 2021, showing a 23% decline year over year. Given the company's focus on mobile, where there's been a pretty shaky year, this makes sense for the Polish games company. Huge Games saw a net revenue of $319 million in 2022, which is a 14.7% decline from their 2021 figure of $373 million. That being said, their adjusted EBITDA was at a record high of $82.3 million, and the average revenue per paying user stayed consistent at around $43.5. These next two aren't necessarily earnings reports, but it's just good stuff to note. FaZe Clan has actually been sent a deficiency warning by the listing qualifications department of the NASDAQ stock market, informing that they failed to comply with the $1 minimum bid price. To regain compliance, FaZe Clan has to meet or exceed the $1 per share minimum for 10 consecutive business days, or they risk delisting in September. On the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, Heroic has actually been supplied with a $1 million investment from existing shareholders to keep the org continuing going to support its CSGO, R6, and sim racing teams. They project that they'll need another $4 million through 2025 if they want to continue though. So I'm not going to comment much on these financial information because a lot of information was just thrown at you. I'll just let you process on your own. Our second story, E3 has been canceled. Unfortunately, E3 has been canceled for the 3rd time now in the past 4 years, with 2021 being the only year it took place, and it was digital at that. The official announcement comes after many top publishers like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Tencent, and Sega and more said that they would not be attending, which really just killed the opportunity and vibe for E3. Given there's not much interest for E3, their cancellation made sense, but it's really just sad to see, and many of these publishers have opted for their own showcase instead, which I would assume is so they can dictate the flow and so that they can focus their attention on their specific games. ESA president and CEO Stanley Lepierre mentioned other reasons such as game development timelines being altered with the pandemic as well, changing marketing budgets getting shifted with economic headwinds. Also, they mentioned that how publishers were trying to find the right balance between in-person and virtual opportunities for marketing. I do hope there ends up being an E3 in the future, given it's cool. It's a big showcase of all the things happening in gaming at once, and E3 saw its peak attendance in 2005 with 70,000 people making it to the LA Convention Center. Maybe one day it'll return to its former glory. For our final top 3 story, I just want to talk about creators and esports orgs. There's 2 things here that I really want to focus. Firstly, Misfits, Carl Jacobs, and KreekCraft have launched Pixel Playground, which is a Roblox game studio. KreekCraft also has joined Misfits, which is an esports org that's really definitely pivoted from the AAA esports like League of Legends in Europe to more content creator focused initiatives like Carl Jacobs, Austin Show, and now KreekCraft. KreekCraft will act as a creative director and co-founder of this new studio, with Misfits providing operational support, resources, other tools as well need to share this content with larger audiences. And Misfits says the games created by Pixel Playground will appear to advertisers and gamers, given Roblox changed their advertising rules recently. I'll just say this, Misfits is going off with their creator initiatives. Not only have they been signing lately, these really top-notch creators, but they've also been innovating what these creators are doing inside their organizations, and this all comes after the Misfits Creator Fund, which was started in 2022, which also seems to be doing decently well, though we haven't heard too many updates from that. Secondly, Disguised Toast said that I don't really need an esports org to support me. I'm just going to make my own, and that's exactly what he did by signing this new Valorant Game Changers roster consisting of Quarter Jade, Kaide, Sadion, Tenzin, and Tupperware as well. This is a stacked roster in terms of content creators, which has made some in the community a little bit upset about bringing the wrong attention to the Game Changers esports scene. That being said, I personally would gladly welcome huge viewership if I were on any of these teams. It's a great opportunity for exposure regardless. And Disguised Toast knows that, he knows the cost and effort associated with running these teams and whatnot, but he's still putting a lot of time and effort and thought into it still. So many are seeing creators as the future of esports and gaming, but these 2 stories beg the question, in which way, right? On one hand, we see creators joining already established esports organizations in more involved ways to utilize the resources that the org has and build synergies there. On the other hand, we see creators building their own esports orgs and using their deep wallets to self-fund these teams. Who do you think will prevail? Do you think both will succeed? Let's find out. As far as partnerships go, PGL partnered with IMG and Valve as well. IMG will continue to be PGL's partner for media, sponsorship, and data rights for their entire 2023 to 2025 events portfolio. One of those events being the PGL CS2 Major in Copenhagen in 2024, which will be Valve's first major for CS2. I'm really excited to see the viewership and the sponsors on that tournament. Team Heretics partnered with Red Bull. Red Bull branding will be on all the players' jerseys across the org with daily content creator efforts as well as in-person activations taking place. And to be honest, daily content creation efforts seem quite ambitious and I feel like it might wear people out, but we'll see what this actually turns out to be. Blast partnered with Unicorn. Unicorn will be a partner for Blast Premiere and the Blast TV Paris Major with multiple activations on the broadcast as well as social, in-person, and on the LAN as well with the Blast Pick segment. This is a smart integration for Unicorn with CSGO's last ever major event, and Blast is actually taking steps to ensure this is the most viewed CSGO major ever with over 100 territories and 24 languages covered on their media distribution plan for the major. FlyQuest have partnered with Blinkfire. FlyQuest will get the sponsorship tracking and valuation tools across their social media and streaming platforms as a result of this partnership. Energy Esports partnered with DX Racer. Both Energy and SF Shock will work with DX Racer to work on branded gaming chairs with this multi-year deal, though not much else was revealed. Viperio partnered with Luckbox. This partnership comes as Viperio will be in the Blast Paris Major EU RMR A, and Luckbox will serve as their official sponsor with branding on jerseys and digital content as well as social media channels as well. Giants Gaming will partner with the Malaga Provincial Council. The two orgs will work together to promote the Costa del Sol region, which will be the official global partner for Giants Gaming. They will work on jersey branding as well as in-person and digital activations to promote the Spanish region. Super Evil Megacorp partnered with Netflix. Everything about this announcement is super vague as no details of the game they're working on together have been revealed. That being said, it's probably going to be something around an interactive game of sort, in my opinion, or based around some brand new Netflix IP. Talon have renewed their partnership with SteelSeries. This means that SteelSeries will continue to be the official gaming peripherals brand of PSG Talon, with the players getting SteelSeries-based peripherals as well as working on product testing. As far as finance and M&A goes, Keyword Studios acquired Digital Media Management. For reference, DMM provides integrated media strategy, management, and influencer solutions for entertainment and gaming, and Keyword Studios have acquired quite a few companies in the past year, so we'll keep an eye out for more acquisitions on their end. Hathor raised $7.6 million. The company's looking to launch Hathor Cloud, which is the first serverless offering for multiplayer games, which will allow dev teams to reduce time and cost to build and operate multiplayer games. The round saw participation from Upfront Ventures, Founders Fund, Lunar Ventures, and others. WePlay Ventures are going to expand to Europe and Asia. The Turkish investment fund is looking to transfer its headquarters to the Netherlands later this year and wants to capitalize on other markets as well, such as the Asian market. They also plan on launching two new platforms, WePlay Hub and WePlay Stars, that will look to support startups before they even get investment. As far as workforce changes go, Kendricks Linscott joins Esports Canada as the CMO. Kendricks will work to grow the org's operations and expand their business relationships with esports orgs and gaming brands. Currently, she holds the role of CMO for Women in Games International and was previously the head of digital at esports.gg as well. She's had a variety of experiences in gaming and esports and holds a bachelor's in religious studies from Carleton University. David Lalonde joins Room 8 as the head of the mobile service line. David will be tasked with the overall growth strategy and success of new studios, and he spent the last 9 years at a private company and has lots of experience in web development as well as production and publishing. He holds a diploma of college studies in publication and graphic design from John Abbott College. Sydney Jenner has been promoted to Global Influencer Marketing Manager at Razer. She's a fellow ASU alum and a friend of mine, so go Sydney. She was most recently an influencer specialist and now has been promoted to overseeing more of the influencer marketing program at Razer. Prior to that, she worked at VidCon on partnerships as well, and she holds a bachelor's in filmmaking practices from Arizona State University. Dan Sutton has been promoted to the VP of Global Esports Publishing at Riot Games. He's been with Riot for nearly 8 years now, serving previously as the global head of esports marketing across League of Legends, Valorant, and Wild Rift. He spent time before at Google doing brand strategy marketing and has also spent time on the agency side as well as Apple before. He holds a bachelor's in communication and media studies from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. As far as new stuff goes, Lighthouse Games has been formed by Gavin Rayburn. The AAA dev studio is based out of the UK and will be led by one of the co-founders behind the studio that made Forza Horizon. Gavin will be heading up the team of 30 people working on a new IP and is excited with this blank slate as he's able to expand into new horizons now. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the publications and authors themselves for the images and information provided. Want to give a quick shout out to the Esports Advocate, James Fudge, Hong Yu Chen, and Tobias Sek for the great work they're doing on the Esports Advocate. And if you know someone who'd find this valuable, please tag them in the comments down below or share this with them. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, everybody, have a great day.